Now at
Last
11.
night, I mean, it was just basically mayhem up here.
Now at 11, two major shootings and not a lot of answers from Portland police. But we know about the confrontation between protesters and a homeowner that ended with 6 people shot. And what neighbors say happened when police shot and killed someone at a condo complex in Portland's Southwest Hills.
Gunshots came in, like pop, 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 real quick.
Plus, tolling is coming to Portland area freeways, and tonight we have a better idea of just how much it's going to cost you.
This is KGW News at 11.
A deadly mass shooting in a Portland park this weekend is getting national attention tonight. It involves people protesting police on one side and a homeowner on the other. We are waiting on a lot of unanswered questions, but Galen Edlin shares what we have learned so far.
Around 8 Saturday night, this northeast Portland neighborhood turned into a crime scene.
I heard it sounded about to be 8 to 10 consecutive gunshots.
Chelsea Blando was in her apartment near Normandale Park and rushed out.
Along with pretty much everybody in my complex, it looked like the entire police force of Portland came out.
Very chaotic scene.
Portland police said 1 woman died and 5 others hit by gunfire went to the hospital. Flyers on social media showed a group of demonstrators planned to gather at the park to protest the police shooting of a black man in Minneapolis earlier this month. Police say armed protesters and an armed homeowner got into a fight and began shooting.
And I wanted to thank our officers who are showing up every day.
At a Portland police news conference Sunday morning, Lieutenant Nathan Shepard began to share information.
They are murdering us!
But was interrupted by several demonstrators condemning police, use of force, and the media.
I ain't gonna stand here and let these cops lie.
Lieutenant Shepard cut the news conference short and resumed it later over Zoom.
We are at the very beginning stages of the investigation.
Although 2 people were reportedly taken into custody from the park Saturday night, on Sunday, police would not say if anyone was arrested.
We never release victim information. It would be irresponsible of me to comment on arrests that were made.
The deadly incident reached national outlets like the New York Times, but it is still not clear if the person or people who fired shots are in custody now, nor if there's ongoing threat to the community.
There are a lot of guns in our city. Can I definitively say there is no danger? No.
In daylight, neighbors reflected on the shooting's impact.
You know, it's definitely different when it happens close to home.
It doesn't really surprise me because there are shootings everywhere around here.
PPB says so far in 2022, Portland has experienced 203 shooting incidents. 50 people have been hurt, and 14 of the city's 15 homicides have been from shootings.
Just as shocked and as saddened by what's going on. We know it's going to get better, but it will take some time.
Oh my God.
For Portlanders like Chelsea Blando, change can't come soon enough.
So I've learned to kind of tell the difference between fireworks and gunshots.
Galen Edlin, KGW News.
Late tonight, Mayor Ted Wheeler released a statement on the shooting. He said, quote, "While many of the details of last night's shooting near Normandale Park are unclear, we do know one thing for sure. Our community is dealing with the sadness of another senseless act of violence." In a separate shooting, Portland police say a sergeant with 17 years on the force and an officer with just over 2 years were involved in a deadly shooting of a man at a condo complex in Portland's Southwest Hills. It happened Saturday night. A neighbor told us the man fired first at officers. Police, though, have not confirmed that, and there is still a lot we do not know about this. The morning after the shooting at the Broadway View condominiums, bullet holes and evidence markers hinted at the violence from the night before. Jacob Driscoll said it began after 6 o'clock Saturday night.
The first thing that I noticed was when I was out walking my dog at about 6:15, I saw somebody with like a firearm run up behind the building that is next to us. And I so quickly noped out of there because I wasn't thinking of engaging with that at all.
The condos sit at 900 Southwest Broadway Drive on Markham Hill. Jacob was back in his condo when he heard the first series of shots.
Gunshots came out, like pop, 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 real quick.
It's unclear who fired them, but Jacob soon noticed a bullet hole in his kitchen window where he had been standing just 15 minutes earlier.
I remember thinking once I saw the bullet and where it came in at, I was like, that's about neck level. Like if I had been standing there at the oven, like I usually do when I'm cooking, that would have I would have been calling 911 and telling a much different story today, I guess.
At a news conference held over Zoom Sunday, police said they headed to the condos after reports of a disturbance and were told as they drove there that someone was shooting a gun. A different neighbor told KGW that a man at the condos confronted officers and fired at them, and they shot back. Police confirmed that 1 or 2 officers shot and killed the man. They're not releasing any more information, and when asked if the man was experiencing a mental health crisis, the police spokesman said he did not know. Elsewhere, Washington County deputies are investigating yet another shooting. This one happened overnight at Mojito's Bar and Grill on East Baseline Street. That's in Cornelius. A 27-year-old man was shot twice and then taken to the hospital. Witnesses say the shooter took off in a car. This morning, though, deputies arrested the suspect, Jose Seja Sanchez, on attempted murder charges. The Oregon Trail School District says it canceled a boys' basketball game Friday after accusations of racism. District officials say it happened during a girls' basketball game between Sandy and Reynolds High School on Thursday. A student in the stands was accused of using racist language. The district investigated but was not able to confirm that it happened. Still, Sandy High leaders believed it was in the interest of both schools to cancel their Friday game. As a result, Sandy forfeited to Reynolds. In a statement, Oregon Trail Schools says, quote, "We acknowledge it is our responsibility to ensure every athlete and spectator feels welcome, and we uphold the integrity of high school athletics in every facet." They say they failed to do that, though, during the girls' basketball game. We've also reached out to Reynolds about this, but have not heard back. Let's turn now to a controversial plan in the metro area to put tolls on our roadways. In 3 years, they are going to be reality along parts of Interstate 205. This week, Chris McGinnis learned more about where the tolls will be and how much it's going to cost you.
We're looking at a variable rate that would have the lowest rate of around 60 cents per toll point, and the highest rate, I think, just over $2. So again, that's during like the peak of the rush hour.
Those figures are just for environmental study, helping to determine the tolling impact on traffic volumes, diversion, and air pollution. The ultimate say in toll rate along I-205 between Oregon City and Tualatin will be determined by the Oregon Transportation Commission.
With pricing, we're hoping to kind of smooth the peaks of the rush hour, so that people travel throughout the day as opposed to all trying to go in those same 2 hours.
The state has tasked ODOT with 2 main priorities in Portland. The first, find money for earthquake improvement projects. The second, improve congestion on clogged freeways. ODOT believes adding a third lane between 99E and Stafford Road and charging tolls will accomplish both. Oregon drivers are still a little new to the idea of paying to use the freeway.
Interesting question, because my first reaction would be yes, I would. But again, does everybody have that luxury of saying I'm going to pay more to?
It seems like everything we do just hurts the more poor people.
We're very committed to centering equity through this conversation, and believe that we're doing it in a way that hasn't been done elsewhere yet in the country. We're now moving forward with a low-income toll report to think about strategies based on income.
Tolls are likely to be placed near the Abernathy Bridge and the Tualatin River Bridge.
Variable by time of day, and it will be a set schedule so that drivers will know what the rate will be for the time they want to travel, and it's not going to change from day to day.
We're still about 3 years away from seeing tolls on I-205. Still, it gives drivers something more to think about.
We have the same questions too. We just encourage people to really stay involved and engaged during the process. We'll have our draft environmental assessment out this summer for public review and comment.
Chris McGinnis, KGW News.